This is Steve Ridgel, and you may see my dog Remy pop her head up every once in a while. And here she comes. We're going to talk this morning about something that is always kind of a puzzlement to me. And we're going to talk about owning your own stuff. And here's what I mean by that. You've all heard stories really similar to this. A teenager comes in and says, "Boy, this is so wrong." And you say, "Why? What happened?" "Well, I got a ticket." "For what?" "Well, the policeman was rude and he upset me and made me cry and my mascara ran and I was late to school. And because I was late to school, I got a detention at school and I'm so mad at that policeman. I hope he's happy that I got detention." And you know what's wrong with that story? Now, maybe she did get detention. Maybe they should have given her some leeway because she got stopped by a policeman. Maybe the policeman was rude. Maybe there were 50 other people driving just as fast as your teenager. But here's the point, and it's their fault. Yes, I got detention and I was late to school, and it's all that policeman's fault. No, the fault was you driving 50 in a 30. That's the fault. Now, could the policeman have handled it better? Maybe. Is it unfortunate you had all the consequences? Maybe. Were other people doing the same thing? Maybe. But here's the point. The problem happened because of what you did. People don't want to own up to responsibility. I watch our country argue about stuff, and man, I hear people say this could be you, or that could, and that somebody could do, and this, and I listen to it and I think, part of the problem sometimes, I don't know, this is just me. If someone in authority or a position of authority tells me not to do something, typically I'm not going to do it. Now, if I think it's going to violate my Christian conviction, then I'll do it. But then I wouldn't blame the people in authority. I would say I'm doing Jesus' work. But I hear people say, man, I did this and they did. Man, this brick fell off a roof and hit my car and did a big dent, and I'm so upset. Well, where were you parked? Well, it was a construction zone, and I really think they had a no parking sign there. But I needed to park my car, and okay, it's not the fault of the people building or the brick. You parked where you weren't supposed to park. Now you're going, sorry, we making a statement about raising teenagers? Not really. Oh, it's a political statement. No, not even a political statement. But I hear people do this spiritually all the time. One of my most tragic stories in ministry, a couple who were both in leadership positions had an affair. It was found out, and one of them in particular was belligerently not going to repent. And so we had to remove them from all their leadership positions. And the one they had the affair with was furious, said, "Do you know how much you hurt her? You guys are cruel, you are mean, And finally I said, wait a minute, maybe we hadn't handled this perfect, but you're acting like this is our fault. The fault is you two had an affair. You sinned, and there are consequences. We all want to blame the consequences on anybody but us. Learn to own your stuff. Boy, teenagers grow up when they learn to say, you know what, that's right, I shouldn't have been driving 50 in a 30. Our country would get a lot more rest politically if people would take responsibility and say, yep, I knew I shouldn't have done it, I knew the risks, so I'm not mad at them, but it was worth it. Or, yeah, my bad, I should have listened when they said. And spiritually, if you want to mature spiritually, the first part of confession and forgiveness starts with owning your mess. Yeah, the consequences are bad, and maybe they weren't handled well, but I did it. And I'm sorry, and I'll do better. So this is Steve Ridgel, just thinking about owning your own mess this morning. And before you say, well, what do you know about it? Oh, I know. Been there, done that. So there we go.